alone in a restaurant, which I love. I picked my friend's restaurant because it's slow tonight. I'll show you what's going on here. Let's see. No, that's not the one. What is that? Yeah, see how nice it is? I booked the entire room for myself so I don't have to listen to inane people talk about Kamala Harris and that anyone who voted for Donald Trump is Hitler. Fuck, them. They lost, we won. They lost, we won. It's that simple. It's really that simple. I'm celebrating.
Have a good night, ladies.
The only one missing is Teddy because he's been in heaven for a number of years right now. If you care to comment, that means you're alone tonight, which is good. I better make sure the microphone's on. Can you hear me? I did this last time and it was dead. Okay, is everything on? Yeah. Can you hear me? The bread's coming. Wait. Hi, Uncle Mike. No. I'm making sure it's on, Patrick, because we got to get you on tape and get you up here. Can you hear me loud? There's my friend who owns this restaurant, who I've known since he was the size of a breadcrumb.
Happy weekend and congratulations to us all.
Oh, we all won. See, this is the problem. Here's the problem. We have a victory. Hello, my friend.
How are you doing?
Hi, Fernando.
How are you
We
doing,
had a
sir?
huge victory, and we're not celebrating properly. We won, they lost. Oh, that's good. Drove all the way up here just to eat alone. I mean, I could have gone else. I had friends call me, let's meet in this place, let's meet in that. I didn't want to. Truthfully, I wanted to speak with you guys on YouTube because I'm going to tell you something. The economy is booming right now because of Trump. Trump won, the markets went up. Everyone knows that everyone knows they're going to do better economically than under the Soviet system that the Pelosi-Harris regime wanted to impose on us. We feel free again. Everyone feels like the chains have been broken off their neck. Pardon me for eating while talking. That tasted so good. I'm a dunker. Only thing missing is Teddy. He used to love sitting here with me. One day we'll all be there. Across the Rainbow Bridge. I'm only drinking club soda tonight. The country feels liberated. Here's the thing about the communists, I don't call them communists or Marxists. That phrase has been so used it has no power anymore. I've been using a phrase, Soviets, about the left for so long. Please start calling them Soviets. That's who they are. They are Soviets. They lost. They got their asses whipped. They lost everywhere they turned except in the Porn Belt. The only place they won was where the pornography industry thrived. Ruled degenerate people on the planet. So let me tell you about my day. It's a long day. It's a long day for me. And this is part of the long day. So I had scheduled a filming today. Group was sent up from I don't know, where, LA or something. There's a big film being made about freedom of speech for Newsmax TV. They've interviewed some very big people. It's about Musk, really. It's about Musk. And they asked me, do you want to be on it? I said, I have nothing to say. I don't know Musk. I've never met him. I love X. They said, but we've been listening to you for years. We admire you. And you were the first canary in the coal mine. You abandoned Britain. NewsGuard tried to destroy you. The scumbags who were funded by the far left went to your advertising agency and tried to even destroy your podcast after 30 years of trying to destroy your radio show. I said, look, I could talk more about freedom of speech, First Amendment, than I can't talk about it. He's a hero of mine. He's an absolute hero of mine. The man is a combination of Edison. A few other people come to mind of American heroes, which is why the Soviets hate him. You've got to understand that the Soviets don't like independent thinkers. The Soviets hate independent thinkers. In fact, they only embrace stinkers, not thinkers. And I explained to the filmmaker today while he was filming me about Lysenko. Now, I don't want to get over anyone's head here, but Lysenkoism was popular under Joseph Stalin, and it was fake genetics, just like Fauci was basically a Lysenkoist. Fauci's bullshit about vaccines, he should be in prison. One of the first people who should be rounded up and handcuffed is Fauci under Trump. He won't do it, though. The good thing for the left is that Trump is definitely not going to hire me to run the House of Un-American Activities Committee, because there is no such thing. He will not hire me to run the Truth and Reconciliation Committee, because there is no such thing. Trump is run by a bunch of centrists right now. I'll tell you right now, maybe that's better for the country, but even the centrists are going to be attacked by the vermin on the left, the Soviets. See, this is the problem. Trump's trying to appease the left. He's not going to win. There's only one thing they understand, is to be crushed like a bug, cut in half like a snake. I told a story tonight on Newsmax TV. They were showing what the Muslims did to Jews in Holland. It was the first pogrom in Holland since the Nazi era, because they let in so many Muslims who were out of control, not only in Holland, all of Western Europe, because the radical left took over these countries. They flooded these countries with radical Islamists who are now attacking Jews openly in the streets because they don't fear the lesbian police. Did I say that? They don't fear the lesbian police who arrest white women standing outside of abortion clinics silently praying to Jesus. That's who the lesbian police attack. And that's why the radical Islamists are going wild in the streets and beating up Jews and attacking them, because Hitler is back, and it's not Trump, it's them. So I talked about it nicely tonight on Newsmax TV. I didn't say any of this stuff. I wouldn't do that. I talked about a parable. We've all heard the story of the frog and the, what? What was it, the frog and the snake? The scorpion and the frog. There's another parable I told tonight. It's called, it's similar. It's the viper and the farmer. So a farmer sees, why are they talking so loud if I'm the only one in this back room? Can't they go to the other room and talk? Oh, I love listening to the hoi polloi. They throw me off. I have like a brain. I get thrown off easily. The farmer and the viper. You hear this? I gotta listen. I get distracted. I have a little on the spectrum. I can hear things very far away. I smell things. I hear things. I don't like it. Sounds bother me. So, because I'm super sensitive, I gotta listen to a schmuck talk about nothing. You hear this? Shut up. Take it out the room there. Go talk in the toilet. Oh, yeah, thank you. So the viper, I took it over. It's my joint. I took over this room. The farmer and the viper, talking about Holland and the Muslims, Scandinavia and the Muslims, France and the Muslims, America and the 20 million illegal aliens. It's the farmer and the viper. Farmer's in the field. He sees a viper sitting there half dead in the cold. The farmer has pity. He's a nice man. He picks up the viper and he takes him home and he makes him warm. He brings the viper back to life, and the viper feels strong. The viper bites him. And as the farmer's dying from his toxins, the farmer says to the viper, I took you in and I gave you warmth. Why did you do that? He said, because I'm a viper. Deport, deport, deport. Start the buses rolling, get the planes rolling, use the C-47s. Get those shits out of this country before we lose this country to these scumbags. Deport. You know, there's a word called import and export. Import and deport. Big job. So there's a lot to talk about, but I'm not going to do it all right now. I just wanted to say hello to you on this great Friday. It's actually a good Friday. I won't be happy till the deportation buses start running. I don't want Patrick to hear it. He's too young to listen to such things.
Anything besides the poulet or just the poulet?
I'll have the poulet, but remember, not heavy sauce,
Here, you can do the sauce on the side.
rice, vegetables,
Okay.
and I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Sorry, folks. Make believe we're in a restaurant together. I'm talking, eating, and I shouldn't do it. Once there was a man who talked about a nation's identity. And they asked him, how do you define a nation? No one had known how to do it succinctly until this man, in 1994, created a society called the Paul Revere Society. And this man said, a nation is defined by three words: borders, language, culture. At first, he was considered every name under the sun: racist, homophobe, sexist, Hitler, Nazi. And then as the tide turned and the average person saw that they were being bitten by the vipers and stung by the scorpions they had let in, and that their cities had descended into shitholes and turned into hellholes, and that the immigrants were sucking them dry as they worked so hard to pay their taxes to the scumbags who ran the governments, state, local, federal. Finally, people said, you know, we've had enough. Borders, language, culture. Who said that? Who wrote a book called The Enemy Within? Who wrote Stop the Coming Civil War? Who wrote The Savage Republic? Well, you're looking at him. Borders, language, culture. If we do not start deporting the vipers that Biden let in, you got to start with them. You got to start with them that way. You start first with the criminals, those who came here and committed crimes, out, a la porte, gone. And it's happening, by the way. I've already spoken to someone inside DHS who's a conservative who had put there by Trump years ago, who survived this reign of terror under Mayorkas. And there's a whole division of deportation that's beginning. You don't know this. I do. It's going to happen. It's not maybe. Schumer can scream all he wants. They're going. And when fake crap starts screaming about, oh, look at the immigrant children crying. Look at their poor wives. They're being ripped out of their hands. Yeah, you're going to see that too, I guarantee you. You know what I say? It's too bad. They shouldn't have been here to begin with. Let them get the hell out of here. Yes, I'm an immigrant, but my grandfather came here, waited online. He had sponsors. He worked till he died of a heart attack, you assholes. You don't tell me they're the same as my grandfather. They're shit, they're garbage, they're vermin. We're letting in shit into this country. The dregs of humanity. There are no Schopenhauers. Show me one composer that's coming in from these hellholes of Asia, Africa, South America, Central America. It's the dregs of their society that nobody wants. These are not the Einsteins. These are not the Fairmays running from Hitler. These are the leftovers of life. And guess what? We have Americans who are suffering. Veterans who deserve care. People who put money into Social Security who deserve care. Not the refuse of the world. Get rid of them, throw them out, let their own countries take care of them. If this sounds harsh, then you're a moron. And if you don't like what I'm saying, then go with them. Go to their African country, go to their Central American hellhole, and help them over there. Help them build a better country, Marvin. So great days are coming for America. We're all going to be happy now. We're already happy. Everyone's happy that I know. Everyone feels like a weight's been lifted off their shoulders. Everyone had feared if that fraud, that Kamala fraud, that BJ job, if she had won, everyone feared what was coming in this country. basically state and secret police breaking your door down to arrest you, just as they called you every name under the sun. They were exactly what they were saying Trump was, they are. Okay, it's that simple. They project everything. Everything they laid on him was what they are and doing. So there's a lot of people in the Senate and the House who could be arrested too and tried for crimes. How about all those who have been conducting insider trading? You have a name on your mind? You think of a name? Insider trading based upon their inside knowledge? Should they be investigated by a congressional or Senate committee? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All those who called you Nazi Hitler, I will not be happy till they're in handcuffs. Sorry, I'm eating. So I asked a question on my X account the other day at a Savage Nation. Should Trump forget what they did to him and get along with the communists, leftists, Soviets, Marxists, or should he seek vengeance? And many of you say, oh, he shouldn't seek vengeance. We can't become like them. Oh, yes, we can. When they go low, you go lower. Cut their legs off. Cut their feet off at the ankles. By the way, they deserve it, every one of them who did this to him. Those who try to kill him twice are not finished. They'll do it again. I tell you, the danger is much higher than it's ever been because it's no longer might he win. He did win. They're going to try to kill him again, as sure as I am sitting here drinking a club soda. I am as worried about the enemies within his own, as I am about the enemies without. In fact, I'm more worried. I remember last time when he won, I went to Mar-a-Lago. Here I had ice cream, and I saw circling on the perimeter were a few people. I can even name them. They all wanted jobs back in the administration. Some of them were given jobs, and they undermined them. They undermined them. I don't think it'll happen again, but I'm not so sure. Truthfully, I don't know. I mean, governments are so big. You got 65,000 employees in the State Department. How do you get rid of them? Where do you start cutting? How do you get rid of all of the dead wood in the Defense Department? Who do you start with? How do you know who to begin with? Okay, well, some you could pretty much pick. Well, the DEI guys, not because they're black or gay. Some black or gay guys are very good, very brave, great warriors. But there's a lot of dead wood that was put in there that doesn't belong there. They've been undermining the military, undermining the education department. So that you could start cutting 10% of every department right from the DEI hires right down. If you make a few mistakes, then you correct them later on. You start with a 10% chop of their budgets. It's simple. You don't have to be a genius. I don't have to be Musk to figure it out. I don't need a computer. I can carry 4 lines of 4 in my head without a computer. Okay, I can write cursive. So you start, what do I have, my food already? I'm gonna have to stop talking because the food's too good. This is better than talking, Patrick. Look what I'm gonna show people what we have here. Are people so stupid they don't know how good food is?
Half roasted chicken, a nice Madeira
Look at
mushroom
it. See
sauce
that
on the
Madeira
side,
sauce, that's all.
rice and
If anyone comes and tell them I'm not here.
Very nice.
Patrick, thank you very much
Michael,
for
thank you.
staying
Bon
open.
appetit, my friend.
Bon appetit is right. Okay, folks, I got to eat now. Let me summarize by saying thank you for being with me. I'm going to have one rice. So cut the departments by 10%. Deport, first the criminals who come here and committed crimes, out. You attack the cop, you robbed a store, you did the scooter job around New York, you're going to be deported on day one. Cut off all money to Zelensky immediately. Do a deal between Putin and Zelensky. The poor Ukrainian people have suffered enough. 600,000 Ukrainians are dead. 300,000 Russians are dead. 9 million Ukrainians are displaced, all because of Biden and Harris. No, they didn't invade Ukraine, but Putin would not have invaded Ukraine if Trump had been in office. He spoke already to Trump. He wants peace. The comedian who played the piano with his dick, he's already talking a different tune. He's not long for the situation. He'll be a man. in Miami soon doing a floor show. That's if he survives. Imagine if there's a little nightclub in Miami where Zelensky could perform playing the piano with his penis. He'd do very well. Be a big show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, direct from Kiev, the man who kills 600,000 of his fellow countrymen and plays the piano with his dick. It's Volodymyr Zelensky. Then a stripper comes out. I got the whole scene. What a world. None of these people had to die. 600,000 men dead, a whole generation gone. And you know, we haven't talked about something else which I try to warn you about. Food, which we all know something about. Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe. Great wheat fields. Who's there to plant the wheat and harvest the wheat now, since so many men are dead? What has that done to food prices in Europe? Even Germany said, let's import LNG, liquid natural gas, from America now. So, what about the cluster bombs that your friends in the Defense Department under Biden-Harris sent to the Ukrainians? What about all these fragments of munitions laying in the wheat fields of Ukraine? What are you going to do about that? Cry about it? What about all the landmines that you sent over there from Boeing, Grumming, whoever the hell, made fortunes off this war? Who's going to clean up those wheat fields of all of the shrapnel? Who's going to rebuild Ukraine? We're going to have to pay for that next? After paying for a war we didn't ask for? Biden gave them almost $1 billion just 2 weeks ago? It hasn't stopped. The gravy train hasn't stopped. Wait till you hear next. Now we got to rebuild the country that Biden-Harris destroyed. You want to do that next with your money? A big issue. Kennedy's supposed to clean up the health industry? Good luck. You think that Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, to name a few, are going to suddenly do what Kennedy wants? Are you joking? I've been writing about food and health since 1970s. I know an awful lot about natural foods, health foods. I know about poisons in our foods. I understand what they've done to this country. You've got a colon cancer epidemic now amongst people in their 20s. Why? Microwaves, toxins, fake natural foods like almost meat. I don't eat that shit. I told you years ago these fake meats are toxic. I told you that the hydrocarbons are muted, the palm oils are mutilated. You're better off with a hamburger or a steak than eating that shit, or go vegetarian. So they're ascribing the cancer epidemic in the young people to all these vegan-like diets. Nothing wrong with vegetarianism if you're eating whole foods. But if you're eating fake food, it's another story. How are you going to turn the food industry around? So look, it's a daunting task for health. It's a daunting task for firing the bums. It's a daunting task for deportations. It's going to be very hard for Trump to get all this done. And although we feel good, don't be so optimistic that it could happen overnight, because the Soviets are embedded like boll weevils. I want to say goodnight for the rest of my meal in this empty restaurant. Look at this. Who else is as lucky as me? Right, late at night I came here, and the food is the best. Try the veal is the best in this city. It's not packed. I know, a friend called me and said, come down to Sausalito, come down here, come down there. I didn't want to go there. I wanted to come here because I love this place. It reminds me of a lot of times in my life that I love. Family, Teddy, his father. I knew his father, rest in peace. Nice people. bashed people, the bedrock people. So I've got a great podcast up today, wherever great podcasts are heard. And the title is, I did an interview yesterday morning with Miranda Devine of the New York Post. She's so smart. And the interview was about what can we expect Trump to get done, if anything, after he takes office. I highly recommend my podcast. On that note, thank you for listening. You can hit the like button, you can hit the chime, the bell, whatever. I can't read your comments, but I thank you for listening to the Savage Nation, not only tonight, but the years past, and God willing, in the future. Till that time, I say good night, and God bless America.